Welcome to the Many Worlds Podcast. Listener discretion is advised. This anthology is a work of fiction. Any characters, events, and businesses have been fictionalized or completely fabricated. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental, or happened in an alternate dimension.
Street Demons, Chapter 1. Frank's gut churned as he sat in his black GMC crossover. He wished he had the squad car. The trappings of the badge made him look more official. People tended to comply when he had the gun and the badge. That's the public's first mistake. Second was thinking police were there to serve and protect. Frank had an ex-wife, alimony, and he was hooking up with a waitress at the titty bar on the west side. He was looking for Vic, short for Victoria. She'd gotten suspended on some bullshit, and Frankie boy hadn't seen her in a few days. That wasn't like his partner. Maybe she was on a bender with one of the hookers. She got little crushes on the pretty ones. That was never good for the whore. If Vic wasn't at the whorehouse, he didn't know where else to look. But he had to make the pickup, so why not kill two birds with one stone? His mouth tasted like cotton and was just as dry. He opened the glove compartment and removed his personal firearm, a SIG P220 .45 caliber with good stopping power. Also very easy to conceal. He took the gun, then took a shot of Maker's Mark from one of the minis he kept in the glove box. It burned going down his gullet. His stomach raged all the more. Frank sat there and clenched his ass cheeks, sweat forming on his forehead. Not for the first time, he wondered just what the hell he was doing. Lack of sleep will do that to you. 2 drop-offs in a day, plus his regular shift, and Frank had the shakes real bad. He chased the whiskey with Pepto. Norma, the lady who ran the place, liked money and had a way of talking to the ladies who rented rooms in the hotel. It was a 5-story, run-down, by-the-hour hotel. The building even came with a fat, balding alcoholic named Bobby, which made the place not just a run-down, rat-infested shithole. No, it was also an 80s movie cliché. But guys on the force liked to rent out the penthouse and order the ladies like room service. His crew had a stake in the place, and they got kickbacks and favors. But most of the time they got the ambassador suite for free. The hotel was like stepping into cop heaven. Frank and Vic felt like kings of the city. Those were good nights. A girl named Zoe gave him the clap, and that had been the final straw for his wife, Diana. She packed up the kids and went to her parents. There's a rumor going around that she's blowing his daughter's math teacher. Frank always hated math. Hey, Bobby. Frank pointed his fingers like guns. He was wearing brown leather gloves and a leather coat. The aviators and slicked-back hair screamed off-duty cop. Frankie, man, you look like shit. Bobby coughed and scratched under his double chin. His 5 o'clock shadow looked greasy and sounded like he was rubbing sandpaper. Yeah, I ain't been sleeping well, Bob. Been having these dreams that something's behind me. Whispering words I don't understand. Ha, shit, sorry, Bobby. TMI. Frank laughed. You got our fucking money or what? I ever let you down, Frankie boy? Bobby scratched his shadow again. Frank always thought the sleaze bag looked like a frog. Bobby handed Frank a brown paper bag that looked and felt like $25,000. The fuck is this, Bobby? This feels light. What the fuck, Frank? He turned bright red. Don't be throwing shit in my face, man. I thought you knew. Vic came by, and she took $5 grand right off the top. She had a baddie with her she was trying to impress. I wouldn't steal from you, Frank, he said, almost pleading. That made Frank think he wasn't lying. It was in his eyes. Too much honesty and fear. He knew Frank was an enforcer. All the crew were, to be honest. Frank wouldn't put it past Bobby to be skimming off the top, but Vic coming there, he wouldn't lie about something Frank could confirm so easily. Part of the reason he was at the hotel was to track down Vic. She usually made the pickup with him. So, Vic came here when? Frank leaned into Bobby's space. She came in day before yesterday, he sputtered. Came in here with a fine brown woman, drop-dead sexy. Said they were gonna go party, her place, some upscale spot out in the burbs. I think it was the ladies' house. I don't know if she scored or what happened. But you're the only one she's friendly with. She's always hated me. Can be a scary bitch when she wants to. That kind of information sealed the deal. Bobby wasn't lying. All right, so she just came in, said, give me $5,000 off the top, and you just did it? No call to me? Not trying to put anything past you here, Frank. She's your partner. I thought you guys loved each other. The way you go on and on. She went to 17, then left. Room 17 was the ambassador suite, where Frank and Vic and some of the boys liked to party. That's where they brought back girls. A spot to snort a little blow, drink some alcohol, a place to unwind on the weekends, or after a shift, sometimes during. You know I keep it open for you boys in blue, spotless. No roaches, no rats, just how you like it. Here. He handed Frank the key, red and white plastic tag, number 17. Take a look around. Her suspension is up, so I'm gonna need to find her, Frank said, taking the key. Frankie took the stairs, cracked tile, grime everywhere. The one elevator had been out of order since 1972, or so the joke went. Room 17 was on the corner of the second floor. The ambassador suite was 2 large rooms connected together, one a parlor, the other a large bedroom with a king-size bed. There was a bathroom off to the left and a kitchenette with a full kitchen table. A short set of stairs led up to the balcony. You could look out over the alley, see the scum and shit. Rats playing in the streets. Nothing looked out of place. Several maids came through and cleaned the suite regularly. They did a good job, even if they couldn't speak English. The only thing out of place was a white-wrapped package sitting on the table, wrapped in butcher's paper. Frank moved closer, pulled out his pocket knife, and glanced around the room again. Same old stains in the ceiling. The side room was where you really entertained, got some privacy. The ringing started in his ears. It pierced his skull like ice picks. It was like his insides were about to fall out of his body. Then it started sounding like voices, screaming his name. He wanted to throw up and shit at the same time. Still, stubborn Frank kept walking. Sweat poured down his back. He got closer and sliced the package open. He had to see. When the paper fell away, there was a large heart, the size of his fist, labeled as a pig's heart. It twitched. The meat flexed. Something pushed from inside. A black insect-like leg tore free. A spider huge and hairy crawled out of the heart and scurried away. The shrieking in Frank's head stopped. Then came the babies. 1,000 tiny spiders burst from the heart. Frank ran. Frank, what's the matter? Money. Frank took the package and ran to his car, took deep, rattling breaths. One shot of Maker's Mark, then another, then a third. Finally, the shaking in his hands stopped. Something strange was going down. You always heard about weird shit in this podunk, fucked-up town. Frank tried Vic's number again, straight to voicemail. Then he checked her location. Long shot. She always had red receipts and location turned off. But this time, a dot appeared. Her location was on. Frank stared at himself in the mirror, licked his fingers and smoothed his mustache, ran a hand through slick, sweaty hair, turned the key. Time to find Vic. Chapter 2. Victoria always went by Vic. She was the toughest cop on the force. Frank felt a twinge of suspicion when he first met his new partner, wondering if he'd have to walk on eggshells and watch what he said. He despised that kind of thing. Everyone seemed overly sensitive these days. The damn woke mind virus. COVID had fried their brains, causing everyone who already had issues to have twice as many. Drunks and weirdos roamed the amber-lit streets. The city was awash with filth. He found out Vic's interests in pussy, gambling, and drinking exceeded his own, which pleasantly surprised him. She made him look like fucking AOC. Vic had a mean streak. Never toward Frank, though, 'cause Frankie boy was family. Together they became real hard cases, the best of the best, problem solvers who wore Punisher logos under their vests. It was inevitable. They let her in on the side hustle. If there was money to be made off the clock, then the actual heroes of the street should be the ones in control. The real thin blue line. Frank knew the streets they patrolled. Vic knew how to apply the pressure and use it to come out on top. They'd both taken the detective's exam and failed. Frank took the test twice. They knew more about the job than any buttoned-up ass-kissing dick in a suit. If a body dropped in the hood, Frank and Vic knew who and where within minutes. If they were doing traffic stops, the driver got the ticket. If there was a domestic dispute, someone was going to jail. Unless you were pretty or well-known, you didn't get away with anything when Vic and Frank were on the case. If you were one of their calls, you either listened or got your shit pushed in. One night in the summer, they stopped a black woman who might have been speeding. They didn't know since their radar wasn't even on, but that didn't matter. She was pretty, with brown and blonde hair and a body that said she just left the gym and was headed to strip at the club. Frank licked his lips after seeing her and asking for her license, registration, and insurance. He glanced over at Vic, who wore an equally vicious smirk. "I'm not sure why you guys stopped me. I was doing the speed limit," the woman said. "You calling us liars, girlie?" Vic asked, her hand resting on her gun. "No, officer. I just don't understand why you pulled me over," she said, clearly distressed. "Listen, Tesha, stay in the car while we run your ID," Frank said, leaning in the car window, hand still on his gun. "My name isn't Tesha. It's Sana. You can see it on the damn ID, officer," she snapped. "Does it look like I give a shit? Sit tight. I'm gonna check and see if you've got warrants," Frank said. "I'd thank you to keep a civil tongue, ma'am," Vic smirked, shining her flashlight in Sana's face. Sana kept her hands at 10 and 2. She wore gym clothes and a gray hoodie. Both officers glared at her from each side of the car. They made sure she was good and afraid. Then they walked back to their cruiser. "Mouthy one," Vic laughed. They ran her through the system and saw she was clean. "Nothing on her. A solid citizen," Frank said. "Yeah, little fucking princess. You see her body?" Vic laughed. "I'd lick those sweaty panties. God damn, am I right?" Frank smacked the dash. "Girls like that at the gym are just begging for it. Bet she's got a lot of the homeboys paying her bills," Vic said. "Shit, I'd give her all I got in my pocket. Come on, let's get this chick on the road." Frank got out of the car. "You guys find out I don't have a warrant?" Sana asked as Frank handed back her ID. "You don't have to take that tone, ma'am," Vic said. "I'll take whatever tone I like. How is this protecting and serving? I swear cops are just stuck on stupid." That was absolutely the wrong thing to say to the Destructo twins as the force called Frank and Vic. "Okay, get out of the car, ma'am," Vic said. "What? I didn't do nothing. Do you have probable cause?" Sana asked. "Well, look at the brains on this bimbo," Vic said, opening the passenger door. "I'll be damned if I get out this damn car." "Look at that, Frankie. She's resisting," Vic said, all business now. Frank, without hesitation, drew his firearm. "Get out of the fucking car before I splatter your brains all over the inside of this ride." Okay. Please calm down, officer." "I am calm," Frank yelled. Vic yanked Sana by the hair and pulled. "Ow! Please stop!" Sana screamed in terror. She knew she could get killed. She crawled over the center console and got out as Vic used her size to yank her out. Frank slammed Sana against the car, hard, pushing his crotch into her backside, his hands all over her. "Oh yeah, Vic, she's been working out. Feel this thing," Frank said, getting excited. Vic reached down and cupped one of Sana's breasts while she was restrained. "Huh, yeah, we could put you to work, girlie. I know some pimps that'd sell you 10, 11 times a night. Get you strung out on smack. Me and my partner here would come by and visit you. You'd be begging us to fuck you just to get your fix. What do you think about that?" Vic's voice turned cold, like something demonic had crawled out of her soul. Frank fed on it. It thrilled him they could both have their way with this stuck-up liberal whore. "You ain't got no smart mouth now, do you? I swear you all think you got more rights than us now," Frank said. "You okay, sis? I'm recording," said a black woman. Her daughter held up an iPhone, recording. "Move along, this ain't your business," Vic barked. "Nah, we're gonna stay right here and make sure she gets in her car. Officer, what's your name?" Frank and Vic exchanged a look. Then they let Sana go. "You drive safe, you hear?" Frank said, his finger an inch from Sana's forehead. Tears streamed down her cheeks, catching the strobing blue and red lights. Vic got close to her. "Tell anybody about this, and I'll stop by where you live, bitch." Both officers turned and strolled back to their cruiser. There was a bullshit investigation. Frank never saw Vic make a finger gun at the women recording. But fuck if it didn't go viral. Chapter 3. Union reps said they'd make it all go away. Just take some licks, shut the fuck up, and Vic would be back on the job in no time. Frank didn't get put on probation like Vic, since he wasn't the one making finger guns. God, man, time off is never good for a cop. You'd think the PD would want their superstars back on the street. The public's just a bunch of whining, candy-ass Karens. They don't have the stomach to deal with what we see, Vic said, pointing to herself and Frank. Goddamn right, partner. Saw a banger on the way over blasting music, probably going to get another welfare queen prego. We should sterilize all the single moms. Save us the trouble of putting them in jail or killing them, Frank said, tossing his empty beer into the bin. They were in Vic's backyard. Frank was on duty. But who was going to say shit if he had 1 or 2 beers on the job? Not being on my 6 makes me uneasy, partner, Frank said. Won't be too long before I'm out there pushing people's shit in. Besides, it gives me time to find a new bride. Hell, I even rode my Harley. It's been months. On my way to the parts store the other day, I met this fine little thing walking home. Got her number. Said she liked butch girls. I could practically see puddles when I told her I was a cop. Ha, look at you, Vic, getting some of that honeysuckle cunt. Frank made a humping gesture. Vic laughed. Fuck yeah. We've been texting non-stop. Prettiest pussy I ever seen, boy. We're supposed to meet up tonight. Frank got a chirp from the radio and figured it was time to go. Vic looked jealous, but understood. Frank didn't know she'd disappear that night. If he had, he would have said something more charming than, "Smell you later, asshole." Vic laughed. Fuck you too, Peckerwood. Classic Frank thought. Frank didn't hear from Vic the next day. No big deal. She probably hit it off with her new fling. She always got more women than he did. It used to bother him, but he was never good at eating pussy. On the second day, he sent a text that went unread. She always got back to him right away. Could be partying still. Halfway through his shift, he sent another, still unread. That's when he checked her house. He was sure he was just worrying. Vic would call him a big fraidy cat, and they'd laugh, pound a beer, and that would be that. But the lights weren't on. Her cat hadn't been fed. That's when Frank got worried. Sent another text asking her to check in. By quitting time, he dropped off the patrol car and got his personal ride. At the station, the desk sergeant asked if he'd heard from Vic. No, sir. She's been enjoying her time off, Frank said. Yeah, I bet. I tried her phone to update her on her case, straight to voicemail. Let her know the union rep said they cleared it up. They did. She's officially off probation next week. Thought that'd thrill her. I think she might have fallen into some honey, to be honest. I'll find her, though. You do that, Frank. 3 days later, he sat parked in front of a house he didn't recognize. Wrong side of town. Crushed an aspirin, washed it down with a shot, loose and ready to rock, or feel like a jackass when Vic turned out fine. He checked the mirror. He'd stopped and put on his uniform. Well, Jesus shit on a cracker. Ain't you a looker? Frank said as the woman opened the door. Curly blonde and brown hair, purple tank top, gray yoga pants. Could have been Italian or Brazilian. Didn't matter. He was here on business. The Dot was here. No car in the drive, no Harley. Her all-black hog with chrome ape hangers was gone. Hi, miss. Frank paused. Hi, officer. Is there a reason you're at my door? I think you might be out of your jurisdiction. Frank wore his brown and tan uniform and vest. Most people respected the uniform. This woman didn't flinch. Ma'am, my name's Officer Benedict. I know this is odd, 'cause I'm from the city. I'm looking for someone. You seen a woman? About 5'8", white, bigger? Call me Lucinda. Just me and my daughter here. My partner's out of town, she said, as Frank glimpsed a pair of legs moving around upstairs. He on work or pleasure? Frank smiled. She smiled back. You want to come in, Officer Benedict? Looks like it's gonna rain. You can warm up, have a drink. Tell me about this friend. She winked. Frank immediately liked her vibe. Her smile pulled him in, like a beam of light he couldn't resist. The door clicked shut behind him. It felt inevitable. It smelled of lasagna and garlic bread. High ceilings, alternating white and gray paint on the walls, family photos. Frank thought about everything he'd lost when Diana kicked him out for cheating and being violent. To be fair, the hookers were hard to turn down. Vic loved treating them like shit. He never watched on purpose. But one drunken night, he walked into the wrong room and got an eyeful. He wore boxers and his holstered sidearm. The poor hooker was on the floor. He and Vic locked eyes, smiled. Then he shut the door. Monica, we got company. Put on some clothes, girl, Lucinda yelled toward the stairs. I'm sorry to inconvenience you. It's just me and my partner are close. I get that. Like family, right? She smiled and shut off the stove. Yes, Lucinda, my brother in blue. You're wearing tan. Her laugh was like a breeze. Sorry I never met your partner. Then why is her phone's location here? Frank asked, dropping his friendly tone. He held up his phone. Frank scanned the room. Gray couch, black rugs. Then he saw it. A familiar jacket in the corner. Vic's black leather coat with orange piping. Two things happened at once. Frank turned to face the woman and drew his gun. At the same time, something slammed into him from behind. Didn't I tell you he'd come, Monica? Lucinda's face twisted. Slits opened across her forehead, revealing black, insect-like eyes. Frank fired, missed. She was too fast. The shot hit the floor. He turned. A teenage girl with 4 spider legs charged at him. Frank aimed, fired again, running for the kitchen. Holy fuck, fucking fuck, what the fuck? He looked up. She was on the wall, grinning down with inhuman teeth. He fired again. Frank, put the gun down. We just want to talk, Lucinda said. He dialed emergency. It took a second to connect. Then, a clawed black hand grabbed his wrist. Her sharp teeth sank into his flesh. Nobody's coming, Frank, she said, blood dripping from her mouth. He raised his gun. She knocked it away. He threw himself backward. The daughter blocked the front door. Garage. Had to be a back door. He scrambled across the floor and ran for it. Opened the door and fell. Further than he should have. Head hit something hard. Wind knocked out of him. He landed in a pit. Light shone from above. Lucinda crawled down after him. Chittering sounds. Nightmare sounds. I saw that video online and knew I had to have the both of you. All that hatred and sin. Vic knew too. "What the fuck are you?" Frank rasped. From the corner came a whimper. A cell phone flashlight shone down from above, 12 feet up, sheet metal walls. Vic, tied up in thick gray webbing, one eye gone, hair in patches. No mistaking her. His partner. His only real friend. "Sorry, Frankie. I'm so damn sorry," Vic said, voice cracking. "I came looking for you, Vic. You ain't got shit to be sorry for. I would have come no matter what." Tears stung his eyes. "Sin sticks to people like stink-on shit," Lucinda said. "You hate the world because you hate yourselves, driving everyone away. You bullied and manipulated everyone. Now you'll be part of something greater." Frank tried to stand, dizzy. He must have hit his head. Lucinda crept closer, more spider than woman now, eyes gleaming like a cat's, her pants torn. Instead of legs, she had pincers, and at least 4 more arms, ending in hands. Frank screamed. "Oh, Frankie, the house is soundproof. The cell signal's jammed. That call didn't go through," she cooed. He crawled to Vic. His hand hit bone, a femur. Panic flooded him. "What are you?" "I didn't know she was a monster," Vic sobbed. "At first I was just happy you weren't here, that you wouldn't suffer like I am." Her left eye was gone. Her feet too. "Oh, you're noticing Vicky's not in her right mind," Lucinda said behind him. A pincer slashed into Frank's shoulder. Something hot and itchy spread from the wound. He couldn't move. Lucinda wrapped him in webs gently. Binding fluid hardened. He was paralyzed. "I've been called a monster for centuries. I don't mind. What I do is monstrous. No shame, just like you two. Eating flesh to sustain myself and my children. It's instinct, Frank. You and Vic were eating the city. A poison, a disease eating away at reality." She leaned in, spit a sweet-smelling fluid into his mouth. Frank gagged. "Monica's pregnant. Baby's due any day. So we're gonna feed on you nice and slow. Start at your feet and work our way up. We won't let you bleed out till the end, officer." Vic's voice broke. "Don't look, Frank. It only hurts." She didn't finish. He tried to brace for what was coming. A sharp claw plunged into his eye, scooping it out. Frank screamed through the paralysis. The pain was blinding, a hot red pop. His body convulsed. Blood and ruined flesh leaked down his cheek. He wanted her dead, burned, annihilated. How dare she do this to 2 cops? They were the good guys. Vic was right. The pain faded as shock took him. "Sorry, Frankie boy. The eyes are my favorite part. I just had to get a taste of the fear and hatred." Lucinda laughed as tears spilled from Frank's one good eye. He knew deep in his bones, this was the end. You've just stepped off the curb and into the world of street demons. If you like what you've heard, subscribe, like, and spread the word. Tell your friends and your enemies to watch their backs on that spiral road. And remember, don't look behind you.